welcome to another tactical video. Today I'm going to talk about vehicles, tanks. It's not going to be so much about what they do and how to lay them out, blah blah blah. It's going to be how to move them across the field safer. I wouldn't say safely, because there's nothing safe in the world of 40k. So take these three as an example. Now, obviously, front armor 14, very powerful. Now, they've got side armor 13, front armor 14. These two have a rear armor 11. This has a rear armor 10. So you could run them across the field like that, which gives him a cover save with his rear armour, or they can't see it at all because they have to fight through them. Diamond, triangle formation, arrowhead, trundle them up through the field that way. Or, if you are after as much armour as possible, armour value, you don't want that side armour showing. When moving them up the field, move them like that. Alcove formation. Now, most of the front armour is shown, not actually much of the side armour. So they have an armour 14 from that angle all the way around to that angle. So you are increasing your armour value as you move around. Some people, they would do that to cover the sides, but then you're exposing the side armour on these. So I would say keep them in close like that. You trundle up across the side and you're covering the basis. Now if you are stuck out in the middle of the field and you're being attacked from all directions, then you could just do that. Make all the rear armour face inwards and have all your tanks firing in multiple directions. Now the bonus about the Imperial Guard is the tank commanders. Now obviously we'll choose this one to be the tank commander, the Lemon Rust battle tank. Now, to give out orders, obviously you roll 2d6 and use a leadership of 9 to give out the order. Now we'll go, first order would be split fire, so he would aim at one unit while these two would aim at another unit. Now these only have a range 24 with the battle cannon, but say they were Vanquisher cannons, they could aim at a tank far away. Or if you've trundled these up using a different order, say, what is it, full throttle, that's it. You move 6 inches, then you move 6 inches again plus d6, get them up the battlefield as quick as possible. This battle tank could use its cannon to take out infantry, and that's a major way of taking out infantry. It's an anti-tank gun practically, medium to light armour. And these two, with their close range, strength 10, AP 1, they, or is it AP 2? I'll look up that in a sec. But they need to get in close, so if you've got up close, this one's taking out the infantry, these two, close range strength 10, can take out the armour. And that's a pretty sneaky, nasty way of doing it, but two strength 10, let's see, demolish cannon, AP2. AP2, you can blow them up, blow them to smithereens. Now, ordnance, obviously, every one of these weapons will be firing snapshots if you fire the ordnance weapon. You could change that for the Punisher Gatling cannon, or the executioner auto cannons, because they don't have an ordnance weapon, they just have heavy weapons, so you can fire that full ballistic skill and all of them at full ballistic skill. Or you could go for the executioner blast weapons, fire that, and then add plasma cannons on the side, blast weapons, and then it's up to you what you want to add in the front, either a flamer, heavy bolter, or las cannon. Now when I do battle tanks, I stick with las cannon on the front, so we've got a bit of AP2 strength 9, and I don't bother with sponsons. Why is that? Because they have less rear armour and they are vulnerable to be targeted, being the most known tank in the game, pretty much. I don't bother wasting the points on them. Demolisher, I do, because these have a range 39, 36, that has a range 24, so I need something to fire at the enemy while they move up. Even if they're just firing snapshots, it doesn't matter, I just need something to be in range while I trundle them up. So I have 2 demolishers in this little selection and a battle tank. The battle tank range 72, 48, 36, 24. I've always got something to fire at them while I trundle closer. You could do what most people do and hold your ground, keep the tanks hunkered down and blow the enemy from distance. That is a tactic, and yes, it can work, but you will need long range weapons. Demolisher, Punisher, which is only a range 24, short range weapons, not so good at that tactic, so you will need long range weapons, and you will need to focus on your battlefield before the game and choose your firing lane. You don't choose a very good lane, you're going to be shooting at nothing, wasting turns. There are hundreds of different ways of using tanks. If you've got, say that's Pask, and you want to protect him, then you could just run him like that. But then Pask will need a long range weapon, and if you fire through your own tanks, it's a unit. You can do that. As long as he's got line of sight, you can still do that. Because technically he would move out the way for him to fire, then move back. If you're basing it on realistics. There are still other ways of getting cover saves and making your tank survivable. You could go for relic plating if you think that they're going to have lots of psychic powers to shoot at them. You could go for camo netting, which I quite often do because they are quite well needing it. They start shooting at you, you're always going to get a save. You need that save. And then another way to run tanks, that's literally spread them out in a line, cover as much ground as you can, keep them in unit coherency, and just trundle them forward, blasting away. Use them as your bulldozer. If you're going to do that and have lots of infantry behind them, use these guys as a bulldozer, bulldoze everything in front of them, and use your infantry behind to capture objectives. Or, like in one of my other videos, use your infantry all the way around them, protect the unit, give them a better cover save, make them more survivable, and use these to bulldoze in front of the infantry that are marching in front of them. Tanks have proven their worth. There's not really much to say about tanks because they are well known to be very good. So yeah, I mean, me being me, I'm trying to run a mostly infantry or all infantry army, because I like to try and prove something or try and make something out of nothing. I like a good challenge. Tanks, for me, they've been utilised way too much. I mean, yes, you can take them to tournaments, you can win tournaments, you can run battles and win battles all the time, all day long with tanks, because they have been utilised. They do very well, and Imperial Guard tanks are very well equipped, very well equipped, especially the old Baneblade variants. So yeah, tanks are proven to be very good in everything, but they can do better with infantry. Alright, take it easy. Good gaming.